everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my channel, Day to Day Makeup with Dana. That's me. Today we're going to be talking about the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill the Volt palette. Let's go ahead and get right into this. Let's start with the packaging. The packaging is stunning. I love the way that I love the way that they made it. It's so cute and it's so creative. It's silver confetti and different colored confetti due to the fact that she does have 4 different kinds of palettes in this collection. So you know, she has her purples, her purple hues, her yellow hues, her green hues, and her burnt orange hues. So let's go ahead and go in with the actual Volt. It is a cute small compact Volt. It's very, you know, very easy, very light. It's actually not that it's not that heavy. It feels very rather expensive. It doesn't feel like cheap material. Let's go ahead and zoom in and start with the palettes. We're gonna go ahead and start in with Ring the Alarm, and which has the burnt orange confetti. Bling Boss, which has the purple hue confetti. Dark Magic, which has the dark greens, and the Armed and Gorgeous, which is the yellow, the burnt yellow colors. So that way you can differentiate when you're doing your makeup. And it does have a ribbon, so that way you can pull it, so that way you can have access to the palettes instead of having to stick your fingers in and having, you know, trouble, which is a really good thing that they thought of. It is a satin kind of color. It is a satin kind of material ribbon, and it's actually, you know, really long, so that way you can just pull them all out. But let's go ahead and get in with the swatches. So we're going to go ahead and start off with Ring the Alarm. I really liked the fact that they put the confetti and they put the name on the spinal of the palette, and they put it on top of the palette as well, so that way you don't, you know, you don't have to like, oh, constantly look for it, or like, oh, I have to flip it or whatever. It does come with a mirror included. I know that a lot of people were saying that they wanted a mirror in the Jaclyn Hill palette, but that was just going to be too big. And you can also bend it, you can fold it, and you can break it to where you want it to be. It feels great. The material feels it feels really good. So let's go ahead and go into the colors already. Lolly is the first color in the Ring the Alarm palette. And Rush is the second color. On Camera, Boom, Alert, and then we're going to go in with the second row is Bomb Ass, Siren, Mugshot, and let's go ahead and wait for my camera to focus a little bit, and which is the color Framed, and it is Secret. So that's the last color in the palette. So we're going to go ahead and go into the first color in the palette, which is Lolly. This color did remind me of her original palette, which is the Jaclyn Hill palette with Morphe. It did remind me of the first 3 colors of the palette, which was Sissy. But it's a little bit darker than Sissy, not as light, not as chromy, but it is chrome, like it has a gold hue in it. So it's a gorgeous color. I really like the way that it was, and it glided on just like butter. And the next color as well glided on like butter as well. I hope I don't, you know, repeat glide on like butter, so I'm just gonna say that it worked rather well. The next one is On Camera. Had no problem with that one. Gorgeous color. I love that color. It's really nice. And the next one is Boom. My fingers look so funny. And I actually bring it to me so that I can swatch it, because I'm not really used to filming. But the next color is Boom. Had no problem with that color as well. They actually kind of, you know, I'm gonna give this palette, you know, the camera didn't give it justice. You know, they're actually gorgeous colors. And Alert is the last color in the first row. Excuse my chunky hands, and I am a Neanderthal, so I do have hair. So excuse my hands have for having hair. But that's the first row of the color. That's the first row in the palette. Ring the Alarm. Gorgeous, gorgeous colors. I love the way that they came out. I'm actually rather happy with this palette. It was really really nice, and it's very very pigmented, and they are very very smooth colors. So the next one we're gonna go in with is Bomb Ass, and I'm actually gonna have to insert a picture, so that way you can see it better, because it didn't come out as well as I wanted to on camera. I didn't feel like it gave it enough justice. It looked too dark. It didn't give it that chromy pinky feel. So definitely gonna have to go ahead and put like a picture, insert a picture here. That's why you kind of see me like going back and forth, and like oh, like I don't know why it's like coming out like that. So trying to get the right angle, trying to get the right color, but it was just not coming out the way that I wanted to on camera. But yeah, I really did really like this color. It was just like the other ones. It glided on like butter. And the next one we're going to go ahead and swatch is Siren, and that one does have specks of glitter inside the color, inside the shadow. You really can't see it that well, but it does have little specks of shimmer inside it. And the next one is Mugshot, which is a brown, like a burnt brown orange color. Didn't I really didn't have any problems with that one either. And the next one is Framed, which is a purple maroon color. All of these colors, they really just glided on just like butter. Like they felt really nice. I didn't have any problem with them. They didn't feel chalky. They felt rather well. I really liked the way that they felt. And the last color in the palette is a Secret. And this one is actually just a straight up brown color. And for some reason, since I don't know if it was because since I was cleaning my hands or something, but a little speck just like came out. But I don't think that has anything to do with the color, with the shadow itself. Yeah, you can see me trying to like fix it, but yeah, they were all very pigmented. I really liked the way that they performed. They are very beautiful colors, and I had no problem with this palette whatsoever. And I'm here showing you, I swear I'm not flipping you all off, but yeah, that this is the last look of the Ring the Alarm palette, showing you all the colors that come in the palette, showing you again the Ring the Alarm spinal of it. And I know a lot of people had questions about, oh, if you can clean it. Yes, you can definitely clean it. It is wipeable. It's very easy to clean. Here I am putting my fingerprint. I just, got a little bit of the product, and I did place it on the packaging. I got a makeup wipe, and I wiped it. I missed a spot, of course. But it cleaned off with no problem whatsoever. So that was it for Ring the Alarm. And I really did like this palette. It's just one more last look. It does show the burnt orange hues on it. So the next one we're gonna go ahead and I'm using the ribbon. The next palette we're gonna go ahead and go in with is Bling Boss. If and when my camera can focus on the name, I think it was my backdrop that was giving it a lot of trouble. But I'll probably try to get a better backdrop, so that way I won't have any more problems with it. But that is the this is the Bling Boss palette that we're gonna go ahead and go into. And I think that's enough trying to focus it, Dana, so let's just get on with it. So and it does, oh, I did forget to mention that it does come with the plastic film, to protect the shadows, and the mirror as well. But I took them all out because I had pre-recorded again, and it for some reason it wasn't coming out really well on my other camera. So let's go ahead and go in with the palette Bling Boss, and this one is called Bling Bling. Hush Hush. I'm trying to get it to focus. Hush Hush. And the next one is Gem. The next one is Pizzazz, Mystic, and that's it for the first row. So we're going to go in with the second row. Sparks. I was cleaning it there because I did pre-record it a long time ago. Glitz and Glam, fitting name for that color. Rockstar. Again, trying to get it to focus. Ballsy. And my favorite one, Berry Treasure. You get it? Berry Treasure, Berry Treasure. Boomps. You know, a little pun. I got it, Jaclyn. Yeah, here I was trying to clean off the residue that I had put. So we're going to go ahead and go in with the first color in the palette of Bling Boss is Bling Bling. And this one does have specks of glitter in it, and it's I wouldn't say that it's more of a purple. I would say that it's more of a pink. It's more of a pink shimmer with specks of glitter. I really like this color. It was very nice. It's very nice, and again, glided on just like butter. So, but I overall really liked it. It has like a chrome feel to it. I couldn't compare it to the original Jaclyn Hill palette, but the next one we're gonna go in with is Hush Hush. It's gonna come out very pale because I am a very pale person. But it's this one is like a mauvey purple kind of color. It felt very nice and smooth. I didn't have a problem with that one at all. It didn't feel chalky. It felt great. And those are the two, Bling Bling and Hush Hush. And I'm zooming in just to show you a little bit. And the next one is Gem. Oh, I really love this color. I hate that I repeat the same word twice. But anyway, Gem is the next color in the palette. Gorgeous color. I really loved it. And for all my brown-eyed beauties, just like I am a brown-eyed I am a brown-eyed girl. I love the way purples and greens bring out my eyes. It's I can't wait to use this palette as well. And the next one is called Pizzazz. And this color was it's more of a satin chrome purple pink color. You can definitely see the pink chrome inside this color, but it doesn't have glitter, so it's not a shimmer. It's a satin color. It feels amazing, felt great. And the next one we're going to go into is the last color in the palette is called Mystic. And for Mystic, it is a deep purple. Didn't have any problem with that color as well. And I actually go into the color Mystic once more because I didn't really like that it was coming out sheer, if that's the word. It was coming out a little sheer towards the end. I don't know if I didn't put enough pressure on swatching it, but I did go back into that color again, and I re-swatched it again, and it came out perfect. But these are the colors. As you can see, it's Bling Bling, Hush Hush, Gem, Pizzazz, and Mystic. And I'm just gonna go in with the right here, and I do rub it in, and it with a little bit of product buildup, had no problem at all. I mean, you do that with every kind of you do that with every shadow to build up the color and build up the pigmentation of it. So I definitely loved the first row. It was really pretty. And let's go ahead and go in with the second row. Is called Sparks. The first color in the second row. Sparks. This color is it's a matte color. It doesn't have any shimmer in it. It is a maroon purple color. Very, very pigmented. Super pigmented. Went on like butter. For the 40th time, you should put it in the comments below how many times I say very, very, really, really, or went on just like butter, and as well. So please give me some time. I am trying to get used to it. But we're going to go ahead and go in with the second color in the last row. I'm just showing you that I have clean fingers. And the next one is called Glitz and Glam. And I really am going in and swatching the color. And for Glitz and Glam, it felt really nice. Didn't have any problem with it. It does not have, I'm trying to see if it has any specks of glitter in it, but I'm not really getting anything. It's more of just a satin color. And here, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit more of a close-up. And the next color we're going to go ahead and go into is Rockstar. And Rockstar is a lighter color of Mystic. It's a purple. It's not as deep as Mystic. It is a purple color. Beautiful color. I loved it. I love the way it is. And I love the way that it performed. The next one we're going to go in with is Ballsy. I'm not really sure why she went with Ballsy for Bling Boss palette. I guess because Boss and Ballsy. I'm not really sure. But I really like this color. It's different from Bling Bling. It's more of a purple chrome with very little hue of pink. But you can still see the pink in that color. And beautiful color as well. I really like the way that this one performed as well. So here I'm just giving you all a close-up of the second row. And now I'm just showing you my hands that I have, you know, actual color product on my hand, showing you that I'm not, you know, cheating or anything, or I'm, you know, not swatching it hard enough. You know, I don't have a code affiliated with Morphe. Hey, Morphe. So the next one we're going to go in with is Berry Treasure. A gorgeous color. I absolutely loved this color. This one was my favorite in the palette. It is a deep purple with purple specks of glitter. I just love this one. I just love this color so much, and I can't wait to use that on my lid, you know, as the main color that pops on my lid. I loved the way that this color performed. It's not black, it's not dark. It's so pretty. It's such a pretty color, and you can even swatch it and these specks of glitter still stay on. I've had trouble with, you know, multiple shadows where they have, you know, specks of glitter, and I want that glitter to show, and you know, when I'm like rubbing it out, it comes off. And with this one, with Berry Treasure, as you can see, I still, you know, rubbed it, and it still showed. So we're gonna go ahead and go in with the next one is Dark Magic. Now with this palette, I was overall disappointed. With this palette, and you'll see why. And here I'm showing you the dark green confetti on the packaging, and you know, differentiating between it, because the green does not flashback, not like the silver. So we're gonna go in with the colors. The first color in the palette is called Poof. The next one is called Power Cut. The next one is Shh. The next one is Trickery. I take a little bit of time with Trickery because it was coming out rather dark in the camera, and it's actually not really that dark. It's actually really, it's very green. Like it's not so green like in your face, but it's a green, it's a beautiful green satin color, and that's why I took a little bit of time with Trickery. And the last one is Diversion in the first row. The second row is Potion. The next one is Busted. The next one is Inside Job. The next one's Mojo. And last but not least, Temptress. So yeah, here I am just trying to clean off the name and trying to make it see, trying to make you, trying to help you see. So the first one we're gonna go in with is Poof. You're not gonna see it on my skin. I am very, very pale. But it went on just like butter. I just keep saying butter because that's just what it reminds me of. You know, it's very smooth and fine. Let's go with cream cheese. I'm just kidding. The next one is Power Cut. It's a silver color with specks of glitter. It is not a satin. It does have specks of glitter inside the shadow. And there I'm here trying to show you. Beautiful color. I loved it. I love this color. And the next one is Shh. Shh. It's Shh. How many times, like, do you count, like 3 seconds if it's 3 H's, or do you just go shh? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. How would you say shh? Is it like longer, like shh? Just kidding. But the next one is Trickery. I don't know why this color didn't come out the way that I wanted to on camera, but it's a gorgeous green. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous green. I love my greens, like I said, in the Bling Boss palette. I love my purples and I love my greens. This color was just so pretty. I don't know why it didn't come out as well as I wanted to in camera, but it's very, very pretty. It's a satin green. It does not have specks of glitter. It may look like it does because of my hand. You know, I have been doing a lot of swatches and I've been trying to clean my hand as best as possible, but it's just a flat satin green. Not to say that it's not, you know, a nice color, but it's just a flat satin green. And the next one we're going to go ahead, it closed on me. The next one we're going to go ahead and go in with is a Diversion. For this color, it is a, how can I say this color? It's a copper kind of color, you know, like, not rusted metal. It's like a copper color. It's a flat satin copper color. Nothing, you know, no specks of glitter or anything like that. It's just a flat satin color. So that's it for the first row of Dark Magic. And I'm just showing you here. And I'm putting my camera down so that way you can see. And the next row we're going to go in with Potion. This one is a forest green kind of color. I know she likes to use the word pukey. I don't know if I would say it's pukey, but it's like swamp green. I don't know, like it's a dark forest green. And this one was, I know a lot of people have been having trouble with this specific color, and yes, I did. I had trouble, you know, blending it out. I had trouble picking up the color, packing it on. It was just very patchy. I didn't like it. I did not like this color, and I was really hoping that this color was going to come out really well, but it didn't, and I'm very sad that it didn't come out as well as that I wanted to. The next one is Busted. The same thing for Busted. I pressed on it. I swatched it. It came out very sheer. It didn't come out as pigmented as I wanted it to come out. That's why, I was rather disappointed in this palette, and this one was going to be my favorite palette. I thought it would be, but I'm trying and trying to build up the color, and it's just not going down. It's just coming out sheer. My hand is dry. I was using my makeup wipe, and I was using a cloth to make sure that it was not damp. The next one is Inside Job. Inside Job was it performed rather well, and it's a deep green color. I didn't have too much problem with that one, but it wasn't as pigmented as I wanted it to be. The next one is Mojo, and Mojo is a brown color. Yeah, it's a dark brown color. I had problems with that one as well. It came out rather sheer. And the last one in the palette is Temptress. Now, I saw that Jaclyn Hill had, swatched that color, and it does have specks of glitter in it. It's a black color with specks of glitter. I really, really dug my hand in there, and I mean my finger in there, and it didn't perform well as well as I wanted it to perform. As you can see at the end, it broke apart. It didn't go as pigmented as I wanted to. At the beginning it does, but towards the end, just like the other colors, it starts to lose its pigmentation, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if I got a bad batch. I'm not sure if if maybe my palette got mixed up with the rest of them. I don't know. But I wasn't overall happy with the second row of Dark Magic. And here I am giving you a little bit of a close-up for the colors. And here I am actually, going back in the palette and going halfway, and you can see that it comes out perfect. But why is it that I'm starting it off from the top, and it didn't go as pigmented as when it first came out, if that makes any sense, as when I first swatched it. So those are the last colors of the Dark Magic. One last final look. And I know I didn't mention this at all about the palette, but it does have magnets at both ends and at the top and at the bottom, so that way it shuts closed. And finally, we are at the Armed and Gorgeous palette, the last palette in the collection. And we're going to go ahead and go in and zoom in to the palette, so that way you can see again the yellow confetti that is on top of the packaging of the palette. So it's Armed and Gorgeous. Let's go ahead and open up this beauty and take a look at these colors. So the first color we have is VIP. Access, Guilt Trip, Coin, and Agent. That is it for the first row. Let's go in with the second row. Top Secret, Smooth Criminal, Secure, Prowl, and I think it's because of the other color Classified that didn't want to focus, but that is Prowl, and the last color is Classified. Gorgeous color. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and swatch these beauties. Okay, so here we go. Is the first color in the palette is going to be VIP. I wasn't sure which fingers to use, so I just used that one. And it is a white shimmer. It is not a satin color because it does have specks of glitter in it. The second color is Access, and that's a yellow orange color, more yellow than orange, and it's matte. And the next color we're going to go ahead and go into is Guilt Trip. This is more of a champagne beige gold color, not as like super gold, but it's a champagne color, like a beige champagne color. Very pretty, and it's a satin color. It does not have specks of glitter. And I am getting the rag that I well, like a little towel to undamp my hands. You know, I'm cleaning them off because I did clean it with a makeup wipe, so that way it doesn't come out, you know, as pigmented with the, you know, with it being moist or anything, you know, so that way you don't see that I'm again cheating. But I did, you know, wipe my hands with the little cloth that I have there. And the next color we're going to go ahead and go into is the name Coin. And this is a gorgeous gold color. I absolutely love it. It is a very pigmented. It is in your face. Very vibrant, gorgeous color. She really knocked out of the park with this color. I really loved it. Glided on like butter. I loved it. It has specks of glitter. It is not a satin color. It does have specks of gold glitter in it. Absolutely loved it. And look at my finger. Look at that. That is so pigmented. It is so in your face. I absolutely adored this color. And the next color we're going to go ahead and go into is Agent. This is more of a toned down orange. It's a burnt orange. It's not a very vibrant orange. Yeah, it's like a neutral orange. It's a burnt orange, but not so orange. And I think it has more orange than it does have yellow. And that's it for the first row in the Armed and Gorgeous palette. Next, we're going to go ahead and go into the second row in the Armed and Gorgeous palette. It is the color Top Secret. This is a lighter green. It's a matte color, and it actually wasn't as pigmented as I wanted it to be. I think this was another color that they were having trouble with. A lot of people were having trouble with is Top Secret in this palette. It didn't perform as well as I wanted it to. It was not as pigmented. It was kind of patchy, and it was not blending out very well, and it was breaking and losing its color. As you can see, I'm here going in back into the color and trying to move it around and trying to, you know, work with it, and it was just not budging. I don't want to say that it's an ugly color. I don't like the way it looks. It doesn't look very pretty. I was overall disappointed with this one. It didn't feel like the rest of the colors. It felt flat. It didn't feel very pigmented. It didn't feel like butter. This time it did not feel like butter. The next one is a Smooth Criminal. I did have a little bit of a problem with this one as well. It didn't go on as much as I wanted it to go on. It didn't go on as pigmented. It does in the beginning, but not as much as I wanted it to. The next one is called Secure. So for this color, it is a orange. It's more of an orange. It's a yellow orange. I am zooming in so that way you can go ahead and see. I was kind of concerned with this color because I saw that on my fingerprint it was looking kind of patchy, like it wasn't going on very well. Like it looked like it was just not going to come on, swatch very well. So you know, I was kind of concerned. So I went back into the palette. You know, I kind of you know, patted my finger on it so that way I can get maybe more of the product. So when I swatch it, it actually performed pretty well. It didn't come off as you know, patchy. It actually was very pigmented. It didn't feel smooth like the rest of the colors do. But this one felt kind of chalky, but I'm overall happy with the way that it is. It's very pigmented. It came out pretty well. So I was overall happy with Secure. And I love my oranges because I use a lot of oranges in my overall looks. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and go in with the next color in the palette, and that is Prowl, and this is a deep brown color. And for this color, I did have a little bit of difficulty with this one. You know, I don't know why, but a lot of the colors that they start off with, you know, very pigmented, and towards the end, it's just like blah, like they fall flat and they don't do it again. They don't become pigmented anymore. I'm not really sure, but that one became really sheer at the end. So the next color we're gonna go ahead and go in with is the classified. I would say that this is more copper. This is a very coppery color. And to be brutally honest, it feels like sandpaper. Of course, when you know, swatch it with your finger, it feels very like gritty. It feels very gritty. You know, it's a satin color, but it felt very weird. It felt very chunky. And I didn't like the way that it felt. It didn't feel like the other satins that that we've had in the palette. But it's a gold copper color, and it is a really pretty color. Can't lie about that. So that is it for the Armed and Gorgeous palette. And of course, here it is on the spinal. It is Armed and Gorgeous. And we're going to go ahead and just talk about the overall product. So my final thoughts for this palette, for this collection, for the Morphe or Morphe X Jaclyn Hill palette, Jaclyn Hill Volt palette. I was overall impressed with Ring the Alarm and Bling Boss. The other two, I gotta give it to Armed and Gorgeous as well. I really was impressed. I really was impressed with that palette as well. I guess the one that disappointed me the most, the one that I was anticipating so much, was Dark Magic. That one, it wasn't just one or two colors. It was, basically like almost all the matte colors were really sad and disappointing. But this is how it comes in. It's a Morphe X Jaclyn Hill. This is the packaging. That's her picture in the back. She has a little saying to her subscribers, and she does have a little saying to anybody who buys the collection. So you can read it in the description in the back. So you know, they tell you a little backstory about how it was, and how excited they were to finally show that their palettes and has it in another language as well. And then when I opened it, you know, it came with a bubble wrap to secure the palettes, just to make sure that they don't break. I was overall very impressed with that as well, because you know, it's you're paying a lot of money for something, and you don't want it to come broken. But it, you know, it happens. You know, some mail carriers don't really care about, you know, the packaging. They don't really care about what you have in there. Obviously, if it says Morphe, you know, it's makeup, but a lot of guys or a lot of people don't know that. Um, I guess my little pet peeve with the collection is with the packaging. You know, it's gorgeous and everything, and it's nice, but as you can see, the you know, you're pulling out the palette, and it's showing, you know, the blank part of it, and you would expect it to show, you know, the front part of the palette, because it is, you know, upwards. It is upwards of the Armed and Gorgeous and Morphe X Jaclyn Hill, so you would want it to be like that. But when you look at it, it's upside down. Like, it's not I don't know how to explain it. It's not a lot. It's not the same direction that it should be with the top of the palette. You know, instead of putting it upside down, where it's showing the Armed and Gorgeous, like the Armed and Gorgeous, Ring No Alarm, Bling Boss, and the Dark Magic titles. You know, it shows, you know, it doesn't show the top part of the palette. It shows the back of the palette. So I just thought that was so weird, and I thought that was like very a pet peeve of mine, because I didn't like that. It's like, okay, well, if you're gonna put the name, then align it to where it's gonna show the top part of the palette. And I just thought that it should have been reversed. Like, it should have been, it should have, where Armed and Gorgeous is, to go with Morphe and Jaclyn Hill, and Morphe and Jaclyn Hill go with the name of the palette, but like upside down. So, but that's just overall my pet peeve of it, and that's just what was that was just what I kind of saw. Like, maybe it was a manufacturing problem. I'm not really sure, but it's no hate. It's no hate towards, you know, the palette. It doesn't, you know, maybe it might matter to me, but it might not matter to anybody else. But that's my overall thoughts for the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill, the Volt palette collection. But thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I really did have a great time reviewing this product. But please like and subscribe to Day to Day Makeup.